All right, so welcome back. I'm now sitting down, so things might be a bit different in terms of audio or whatever. Not that I imagine anyone cares. So, starting with this second deck, we have Sephiroth, who is the planet's heir. Very popular, a very beloved character with, they should call him Planet's Hair. Am I right? Very funny stuff. So, I think this is going to be. Get all that rattly paper out of here. I think this is going to be a bit more of a villains themed deck because we have Ultimisia, the temporal threat, for ooh, 4 colorless and 2 blue. This character was a sorceress who basically lived in the future and did time compression to like send sorceress energy like back into the past and possess people. So that's cool. We love to see it. This is Seymour Flux, a villain from Final Fantasy X of all places. Pretty cool character. Pretty cool to have some Final Fantasy X representation. Deadly Embrace from Final Fantasy 16. Wow, that's Garuda, or one of her followers, maybe. The two little helper bird things she has. Xande, Dark Mage, sorry, one of the villains from Final Fantasy 3, fought in the Crystal Tower, also appears in Final Fantasy 14 in the raid of the same name. And speaking of Final Fantasy 14, it's Xenos Yay Galvus, although it's actually a Magitech Scythe, but that's who's holding it. That's pretty cool. I guess that's the counterpart to the Ultima weapon that Cloud had, maybe. Sahagin, you love to see it. Fish people. Who doesn't love fish people? Ilmeg Pixies. Shouldn't really be in the villains deck, I guess, but these are probably flying creatures, fairies, to be the equivalent of the Moogles. The fairies are known for being very mischievous in nature. So I guess that's what their surveillance thing is about. They can sort of use their magic and enchantments and things to do all sorts of crazy cool stuff. This is Retrieve the Esper, so presumably this is the starting mission of Final Fantasy VI that traumatizes Terra. Try saying that 3 times. Wow, Dreams of Laguna. So this is actually referencing specific plot points in Final Fantasy VIII, where there are 2 protagonists. You play as Squall in the present, and then you have some flashback sequences where you briefly play as Laguna Loire. So that's quite a cool little instant to have. Again, this ties into the time compression theme of Final Fantasy VIII, so pretty cool that it appears here. Realm Sketching. This is from Final Fantasy VI, and again, to a lesser extent, from Final Fantasy XIV. So again, you love to see that being represented. Pictomancy, where effectively she is just copying the target, i.e. by sketching it. Undercity Dire Rats. So these are just some basic creatures. These are representing the starting mission of Final Fantasy XII, where Vaughn goes into the sewer and fights some rats. Lovely stuff. Have to stop saying you love to see it. That is such a crutch. But hey, whatever gets you through doing your first unboxing video, right? So this is some Shinra reinforcements, some Generico soldiers. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards and gain 3 life. There you go. You can sacrifice pawns and get some health back. Wow, this is it's a pretty traumatizing card. If you know, you know. Although it does say fate is not to be taken lightly, Cloud. So I assume this is actually Final Fantasy VII Remake and not Final Fantasy VII itself. Shambling Seath. Again, these are some mutant creatures representing Final Fantasy 13. Almost dropped the card. Some people would say Square Enix dropped the ball with Final Fantasy 13, but I say it is a good game. Fuck the haters. Even you. Yes, you. Okay, Albed Salvagers, sorry. These are characters from Final Fantasy X who you encounter them at various points throughout the story. That's quite cool. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So that's cool. The Albed give you some fighting spirit. Wow. Okay. Staying on Final Fantasy X, we have Tidus or Tidus here using an overkill ability. Target creature gets -0, -999 until end of turn. Wow. That sounds like it is incredible. I am going to have to speak to my friend who knows a lot about Magic on this card, because it seems like it might be overkill. Budum boom tish. Evil Reawakened. That is, well, that's X-Death or Exodus from Final Fantasy V. Galoof, it's good to see you again. Mwahahahaha. Awesome stuff. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with 2 additional +1 counters on it. 2 additional. Wow. That is some cool stuff. So I guess that, that requires that references X-Death and his relationship with the Void and getting powers from Death and Necromancy, things like that. Dark City Trino. Again, this is just some land cards representing the city from Final Fantasy IX. Some nice artwork there. You love to see it. Ironically, this exact place is where a card tournament was held in the game. So I wonder if that's why they were so keen to make it a land in Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering. Looks like that is the Shimmering Lake, the Crystal Lake. What is it called? Lake Brescia. Lake Brescia from Final Fantasy 13, where the group gets a little bit split up because Snow is not willing to leave this crystal here, which I believe is Serra. Besaid Island from Final Fantasy X. Best music in the entire franchise. All other questions, all other answers are wrong. That looks like it's... Oh, wow, that's the orphanage from Final Fantasy VIII. It doesn't say that it is, but you can kind of tell from the lighthouse and yeah, wow, awesome. Another Lake Brescia. Again, very nice to see some very scenic locations from the games represented. I guess it's just these. This is a swamp from Final Fantasy XIV. Wow, that is actually the keeper of the lake, if I'm not mistaken. So that is Midgård-Samar, resting underneath what is presumably La Lune, or the moon, as it's commonly known. Final Fantasy II, we have a swamp. Final Fantasy V, we have a swamp. Final Fantasy XIV, we have a swamp. Final Fantasy II, we have a swamp. 5, swamp. 14, swamp. So many swamps. Cut me, I bleed swamps. It's all just fucking swamps from here on out. And we have a treasure chest that is also Cecil on the other side, representing his Dark Knight Paladin cross. That's a copy card. We have a Robot Warrior, which is a token artifact creature. Again, that's a Magitech armor. And last but no means least, we have the rules card again. So quite a good couple of decks we have here. Thank you very much for watching this awesome episode of Ungrateful Unboxing. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Send me all your money. Listen to everything I say. And learn how to play Magic today. Boy!